Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about registrations, programs and presets, very important part of any keyboard's arsenal if you want to be able to save stuff and record stuff, whether you're gigging or just playing at home. Doesn't matter what make a keyboard you have or even a synthesizer, there will be some form of registration programs or presets on it, and you just need to look it up and to find it out. So we're going to go through it here today. I'm going to be using my Kepler MIDI Pro, and I'm going to be using the Korg i3, and I'm going to set up registrations on both for style, MIDI file, and also an audio track on the Kepler, and we'll do a style and some settings on the Korg i3 just to show for the lower end and the differences. It doesn't matter what keyboard you had, it'll be on it. So for the sake of this video and for the sake of confusion, from now on I'm going to say registration. So if I'm saving into a registration on your manual or your keyboard, it might refer to a preset, or it might refer to a program or something else. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to call it registrations. So what is a registration? So just imagine you're at a wedding and you're taking photographs, and you're getting the bride and the groom and the parents and some of the family in the photograph, and you're viewing them up, and then you move somebody a bit, and then you move someone else, and then you're not quite happy with that, and you move the bride a bit in that way, and so on, until you get the composition of the whole thing as you want. And then you take your photograph so that you can recall that photograph again exactly as you had it set up. So for your registrations and for your keyboard, you set everything up in your keyboard. And then when you save the registration, it will save every single thing on that keyboard as the keyboard is at that particular moment, so that you can recall for future reference. So it could be setting up a style for a song, it could be setting up a MIDI file, a backing track, or it could be just setting up some sounds that you can play on your keyboard. So it's a very important feature, and every keyboard will have some form of it. So today we're going to use a Kepler MIDI Pro, and I'm going to use the Korg. So I'm going to pick a style here. So we're going to save a style first. That's the first one we're going to do. So we just pick a style. So it doesn't matter what. I have a dance category here. And let me see now. We're going to go here with this techno. So it's all these instruments, okay? Now, let's just play a bit of it with these. Okay, so just say that's not style for a song, and we want to save that. Now, our keyboard here module already has all these volumes set, everything set. Now I can go in and I can set here whatever I want. I can go into the Y and I can say, right, I want piano and string to be the first instrument to come up when I bring back that registration, and I can make any other settings here I want, right? And when I'm happy with all my settings, just like our photograph when I was creating my photograph, when I'm happy with all the settings, then I go to save. So when you press the save here, it will give you options, right? So if you're just saving a style, you could save user style, but that's not what we're doing. We're making a registration so that we can recall the whole status of our keyboard back as it is now. So you select registration here, and then I'm going to use the save as, because now this is very important, so that you make sure you don't overwrite any of the programming, previous programming that you have done. So we're going to go save as. So there you go now, I've overwrote that. So in here then, we've got the keypad now up. We can name. Right, so we'll just call it test. I don't think I have anything else in that. And then we go enter. Right, so now that's saved as a registration. If we go back into the registration, if we go down to scroll to the very bottom, and there we have our test. Right, so let's just open this. Okay, now let's just come to our registration here, and let's go to test. Okay, so let's turn off the registration. And here you see we've got our dance. And there we got our style back. Got a piano and strings at the top. And we can do all anything else here than we want. Now we can also make changes on that if we want. We can make changes on the setup again, and we can resave it again on the same name. Okay, and then when you're in here in your registration, I have all these here done for all my different songs, and you can keep going and going and going for as much as the machine will allow. On the Captain, you can put 1,024 in each bank, and here you've got the 4 banks. Bank 1, Bank 2, Bank 3, Bank 4, and you can put 1,024 registrations in each bank, which gives you well over 4,000 registrations. And the registration can be for styles, they can be for MIDI files, and they can be for MP3 CD plus G playback, right? So that you can recall it. So now for a MIDI file. So in order to do a MIDI file, we need to come in here where the MIDI files are, right? Now let's see. Now most of these I think I've done as a registration. So what you need to do is you need to select the file. So we'll do the first, the last, my everything. What Barry White. Okay, so you just need to start just a little bit of the song. Play a little bit of the song, and then you go save, and then you go registration. Registration, save as. So we'll call this one we'll put a 1 after it, okay? So test 1 to test 12, okay? And right. Now let's come back to our registration. Now we've got it here. Select, and there you go. Bring it back into the song. It turns off my style and the necessary things are turned off, and I'm in player 1 and I've got my song. Okay? So just to prove that works, so just let's select that song. Okay, let's go back into my registration. Let's pick, and there you go. So bring up my song, my MIDI file, and it turns off all the necessary things, and there I am ready to play. And I can have whatever instrument I want, and off I go. Now, let's go here and find. So let's just find MP3. Right? So I got a folder here with all my MP3s, right? So I can do the same thing here again. So let's just play a bit of this. So you need to play a bit of the file first. Okay, I hope I don't get copyright for this. Anyway, good year for the roses. Now we can go save, registration. Here again now you got to be very careful, because if I save here now, I will save over my last registration, which I don't want to do. So I go save as, I'm going to call this, we'll put 3, enter. And then we come back to our registration. And here you can see now, that's my new registration. If I select it, switches everything off, bring me on player 1, and I've got my song ready to go. So there I made 3 registrations, and you can do this for anything you want. And you can make any change you want. You can have whatever bike you want coming up, or whatever ever you want coming up. So I made one for style, I made one for a MIDI file, and I made one for an MP3 player. And it doesn't matter what folders, because they're in different folders here, right? So I got my my MIDI files here in one folder. I've got my, well, obviously my styles are in folders, but I've also got the main styles of the machine itself, right? And I've got some custom styles that I've made. So it doesn't really matter what folder the MIDI file, the backing track, the MP3 file, or the style is in. You can make custom styles, because once you use there what I've showed you, it'll pick it up. And once you go back into your registration and bring it up, the style or the song that you want will come up, and it'll be ready there to play immediately. Right, and now we're going to do the Korg i3. We're going to set up a style, and we're going to pick a few sounds and see what we can do with this. Okay, so let's just pick a style. I got this rubber funk style here, so let's just play a little bit of that. Let me see. Okay, so now we can decide here what we want to do. So we can knock off some of these. So if you wanted, you could decide that you want your registration to start off with just some of these on, or you can have the whole lot going. Now, continue, they give you these sets here, performance sets, so we can decide what do we want to be playing. Okay, I like that. So just there I like that. And I want to save it here now. Now you've got your bank. So you've got your bank A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So now we're back in A again. Right? So we want to save that style and all this in here that we have here, right? Including all this. So you click here on the right button, hold down that right button, and then you press. So we're going to put it in A, and we're going to put it in registration 1. Hold down your registration, and then you see it flash. That is saved now. So right, so let's just stop down for a minute. Now let's just a bit after jazz. Okay, so let's just save another one. Right, so let's just listen to this. We'll see what this is. Okay, right. Right, just say that's our song, just say we pick, pick what we like, right? And we're going to save this now here on number 2. So you go right, you hold down number 2 until it goes. Okay, so now let's just stop. Now, let's call up the first one. So here we go. That's our first. So that's our rubber funk there. And we picked our style performance 2. Right, and then on the second one we picked acid jazz. Now what about that? Jazz. Okay. Right, so there now we have saved 2 registrations where we saved 2 different styles. So we saved the rubber funk and we saved a sound set, and we could have edited here anything we want. And then we saved an acid jazz and also sounds there to go with that. Right, stop. Okay, so that's how you do it, and you can save up here into 50 of these. Now, there could also be a sound, so if you want just to save your grand piano or something, without a thing, I'll go in here and pick a sound. I'll go in here and pick any of these sounds. You could also save a sound to come up as well. And so where you would just have your sounds. So that if you just want playing in a band and you wanted your 10, we'll say, bread and butter sounds, you could do that. And you just save them along here, and then you can come back here and you can overwrite this again if you want to just change it by just holding down the right again and change something else on it. So that's no problem whatsoever. Okay. So that's just quick little video now on say on doing your styles or registrations on your Ketron Media Pro and on your Korg i3. So that's doing your settings and just to save a registration and how to save it on your Korg i3. I hope this video has been helpful.